coming up in today's video, guys, we've got 5.5 centimeters worth of earwax removal for you to have a look at. It is a beastie one. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. My name is Rhys Barber. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
And my name is Taylor Green, and I'm the other audiologist here. This is your patient,
This is my patient, yeah. This is all my patients. We've got about 13.5 minutes of just one patient's earwax removal. Ooh. You can see this is crumbly straight away. Guys, thank you as well before we start for everyone who pointed out the mic problem with the last couple of videos. What we did, we batch recorded a bunch of videos just because we don't have much time together, and we think we know what's wrong with the mic, but fingers crossed it should be sounding a bit better with the two of us today.
Testing.
Taylor sounded like you was in a different room. We did it on purpose to encourage you to think you might have a hearing problem, so you'd book in to come and see us. That's what we did. But this patient was a lovely gent, came through, hasn't had his ears cleaned out for a couple of years. But you can see it is dry and crumbly, this type of earwax. It's not a great consistency for suction.
Yeah, they're always tricky, and especially when it's really brittle.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a bit of mixture in here by the looks of it. I mean, Rosen inserter. I probably would have gone in with the Rosen inserter on this one, yeah. But it normally just kind of shears a little.
That's right.
A little sort of. I can't think of the word.
It takes little pieces away, doesn't it? Rather than actually kind of pulls a chunk of wax out. Yeah. And that's what we find when you use the suction on there. Sometimes you don't get, you know it's hard, but you don't know how hard it is until you start using some of these tools. But Jobs and Horn's making light work of this front section.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Look at that.
Just took my eye out then.
They kind of jumped towards the cameras and go away there. But you can see it's all very crumbly, flaky. Wax removal. This one is it's lots of keratin, lots of dryness. You usually said I've seen a very, very dry ear canal as well.
A lot of different colours in this one by the looks of it.
Yeah, you can see the dryness to the outer portion there, just on the pinner. So the pinner is this portion of your ear here. So just around the pinner and the sort of concha, you can see that dry flakiness around the outside edge. It's a good indication of what you're going to find inside, isn't it?
And I've tried to just gently kind of suction that away on some patients that we see, and it is rock solid half the time. You just can't do anything with it because it is so dry. Yeah.
And when you got a patient with very dry ear canals like this one, certainly very dry outer ear, so the pinner part of the ear as well, it will sometimes be prescribed creams and lotions and stuff just to put on the outer section, just to try and take that dryness. Look at the colour difference there. That central section is like almost ebony. It's so dark. A lot of in and out of the ear canal with this one, as you can see here. Tiny bits get stuck to the end of the suction tube, and because it's so flaky, you're in and out the ear quite a bit.
That's so frustrating.
It is.
You just want to get it all in one go, and then it's just coming away in tiny little pieces.
It does get very frustrating, very, very frustrating. But what you've got there is, I will tend to use, I don't know whether you're the same, I'll tend to use curettage tools more in the sort of outer third half. When it gets past that point, I'm a little bit more sort of dubious about using curettage tools sometimes, unless I know I can get it out easily.
Yeah. If you can see there's a little gap there, I mean, if it's completely blocked up like this one, I will be, as you said, very, very dubious about actually using any manual tools, curettage. But I know I have in the past, but that's only really with people that have like really bad tinnitus, where suction really isn't an option. It's quite a tricky game, really, isn't it?
It is. This one is. It's we always talk about that benefit versus risk, and when you're looking at patients who have very, very deep, like this one here, this is a solid block. Now I'm pulling this, you can see I'm working it towards the outer portion of the ear canal. I'll do that quite a bit using suction, because it's not quite as invasive as putting the curettage, although it's in the ear, but you're not pressing down on the wax or trying to get, a lot of the curettage tools, you have to get behind the wax for them to become effective. So what I've done here is pull this towards the outer portion of the ear canal, and then use the curettage tool from there to try and draw it the rest of the way. But it had that little bit of movement, but it didn't quite get through it, did it? Let's give this.
That's the thing. I do exactly the same. I was trying to just dig the front in, but just pop the front of the Rosen inserter into the wax.
It's a little bit of purchase in there, isn't it? Yeah.
You might be lucky sometimes and catch like a really dry piece that'll just hold on, and you're quite lucky. You'll just pull the rest of it out. But shearing through it here.
Well, guys, as you noticed, today is Tuesday, and there was no video yesterday, and that's because of the mic issue. We decided we'd hold off and redo these until we'd figured out what was going on there, which is why you're getting the video tonight rather than on a Monday. But we're back to normal Wednesday, Friday this week as well. We've got some good ones as well coming up, I think, over the next couple of days. Yeah, we've got a few good ones. So we're just lifting and trying to work this plug out. You can see we've taken so much out already, but there's still more in here.
God, it's very slow coming out, isn't it? You know, it's like it's one of those things you can see it moving, but you're just waiting for it to like pop out.
And sometimes you will get that, we call it, we nickname it a turbo wiggle. So you really kind of jiggle it up and down to try and work it out of the ear canal. So just getting the Jobson horn over the top here, you can see it's just almost exploding out of the ear canal. As soon as it comes out of that tightly packed area where it's all been compressed together, it's just opening up straight away. There we are, look at that.
Oh.
Make sure you stay tuned for the ruler shot at the end of this one, guys, because there is so much wax to come at these ear canals. And on that note, if you do enjoy the earwax removal videos, guys, you can always like, heart, share, follow, and subscribe for me. That would be absolutely fantastic. And if you have hearing problems or ear problems yourself, check out the link tree in the description. That will take you through to the website. You can book yourself an appointment, come along to clinic, and we'll get that sorted out. The very mottled canal there, that's a good indication of that dry type of wax as well, isn't it?
But looking nice and healthy though.
Yes,
a little bit of inflammation, but I think that's just where the wax has been in there for so long, and it's
Now this one you'll notice straight away is a little bit more, a little bit looser, a little bit more crumbly, and that's because we've got this slightly softer consistency in the middle. Now sometimes you get this because patients will have softened one ear a little bit more than they soften the other, but this wax was going all the way down to the eardrum, and if you see when you take a look at the eardrum at the end, you'll actually see little soft splodges where the wax has just been resting against the eardrum at the very end as well. So yeah, not pleasant. Bless them, to have all that in there.
Yeah, some patients really struggle with, I mean, obviously they book an appointment for a reason. Yeah. When you start using oil, that usually makes things feel and sound worse. Yeah. And some patients can't, I wouldn't say can't handle it, but don't like it.
No, that's true.
And yeah, so a lot of the time, look at all that.
That's a beastie, look at that coming away. You can really see that kind of keratin's been wrapping around that plug as well. Yeah, some patients, and the other thing is that wax tends to swell, doesn't it? Or you block up the gaps around the wax. So when you put the oil of oil in, it can actually make you feel a bit worse for a couple of days as it starts to penetrate into the wax. So patients, if they're feeling really blocked up on one side, if they put oil in one side to soften it and they feel more blocked up, they're afraid to do it on the other side as well, so they don't get that blocked up sensation in both ears.
Yeah, we can do, wax removal when it's dry, but it's, if it's like this, it's more difficult.
Yes, it's a lot harder to do. Yeah. You can really see those layers and how even with the curettage tools, you're having to fight to get that out. It's a deep old plug. Satisfying when it all comes out though. Yeah. It is, and lots of patients say that actually. You must enjoy your job. It must be a really satisfying job when it all comes out in these big plugs like this. It's always good.
It is satisfying, and it is a good job, to be fair, but it's a difficult job at that as well. It's not an easy job. When they come out in seconds, it's perfect. Wish everybody was like that. But
it would be great, wouldn't it? If every patient was that easy, definitely.
In and out.
But that's part of the charm of the job, though, is because you're constantly, every patient you see is different, and every wax removal you do is different, and it's constantly changing technique, tools, and there are techniques that myself and Taylor have developed over years of experience where you think, well, that hasn't worked before, I'll try it a slightly different way, and you find, so there is that. This is why we all say to people to do their due diligence as far as the person you're seeing. Make sure they've got experience in what they're doing. Make sure they've been doing it for a little while. I mean, timescales don't always guarantee expertise in something, but you've got a better chance of that person actually knowing what they're doing and be able to knowing their way around the ear and what works and what doesn't work. So never be afraid to ask whoever you're going to book in with. Never be afraid to ask questions, and we actively encourage people to do that. Find out who you are going to see. It makes a massive difference. It really does. And if they're worth their salt, then they won't mind answering those questions at all. Yeah, that would be the way to say.
Yeah, looks like it's all going to come out in one go. I know you, judging the amount of time we got left on the video.
Probably not. No. I mean, I've chucked a lot of olive oil in here, but you can see how the consistency now has changed. See, it's got that much more soft, that sort of softer, appearance to it, still quite wrapped.
Yeah.
This is what about turbo wiggling, where you're kind of really trying to work that. What I'm doing here is not only working out, but working the oil down underneath it as well.
Yeah, and sometimes you're quite lucky, you know, it'll loosen up and it'll like start sliding out a little bit easier, even if it's not going anywhere, you're just giving it a bit of a wiggle, you can kind of see the gaps appearing around the wax.
I say I'd be tempted now if I don't. I can't. I remember so much of what we did. I can't remember what point we switched over to tools. But I'd be tempted now, looking back at this. You could go over that with a Jobson horn and just try and maybe scoop that front section forwards. I don't know whether I'm seeing a bit more movement there. Where it feels like it's going to go.
Yeah.
Really kind of working this around the canal. This is the outer portion of the ear canal. Guys, it's not uncomfortable for the patient. If this was much deeper in, it would be a bit more uncomfortable. There we go. There's the Jobson horn going in now. I think that's cleaved off again.
Yeah. I don't think that's got it. No. I think it's,
there we go. Smashed it into the endoscope on the way past.
Yeah. Oh.
There. This was obviously what was holding it in. This tacky clay type consistency wax. It's very deep in the canal.
This is usually a similar type of wax that where patients have been using cotton buds.
Yeah.
We normally see it like this. So this is, you know, this is what you could be doing to your own ears if you do use them.
Squashing it into all the nooks and crannies, you're into all your recess and everything. It's a bit of
we've seen a bit of everything really, where, you know, it's soft, wet, sticky.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had ones where with a solid, like really tough, right up against the eardrum. Basically, you can't do much with it.
No.
Or if you can, it just takes a while. But
yeah, true.
we'll probably just get the patient back if it is quite dry and quite tough.
Yeah, I've actually had a patient today that they'd done no pre-treatment before they came along, and their ear canals were just completely solid. The ear wax was completely solid and perfectly formed to the shape of the ear canal. Such difficult ones to remove.
Yeah.
In that case, you can struggle on and you can try and get it out, but it's not going to be pleasant for the patient, and you get a better response if they've softened it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it does mean they have to go away and come back. So if you are thinking about getting this done, pre-treatment is always key with this as well.
Yeah.
Making sure you've done the right pre-treatment for the type of removal you're going to get. So if you've got somebody that's coming in for microsuction, you just want to use some olive oil. If you're coming in for maybe irrigation, there you go. Bicarb.
Sorry, I was like really
you can really see it starting to come forward there, can't you? There you go.
There you go. You could almost see in the video then where it did detach, the second it did detach, you could almost kind of see the patient almost like, I wouldn't say flinched, but kind of moved a little bit where it may have just pulled from the...
Where you feel that sensation off the canal. Yeah, definitely.
Oof.
There we go. It's a good old plug.
Oh, that's a good one.
And that was so deep, and that's just the front end. We've still got the back end of it here coming away. Oh, that looks promising.
Yeah.
That looks promising. I think if it had been a bit thinner, you would have seen that middle start to give towards the camera then.
Yeah.
There you go. You can see those little splodges we were talking about, just where it's been resting against the canal wall. But look at that. I mean, I haven't lined it up properly. I've just bunched it just to make it a bit easier to see. But that's 5.5 centimeters, 2 3/8. 2.25 inches. I'm going to go with that one. That was a beastie to do. Told you it was a good one, didn't I?
I still can't see it. My eyes are getting bad. My eyes are getting so bad.
Oh,
cheers, mate.
You might be able to see the vet. What is it?
No, it's not my prescription.
So, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did, and Taylor did voices now and over. And don't forget, if you do enjoy the videos, if you could hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, follow the channel if you haven't done already, that'd be absolutely fantastic as well. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. And myself and the lovely Mr. Taylor Green will see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.